tonight, my friend Kari is going to speak with you for just a few minutes. Kari is on our board of directors, and she also serves with Lutheran Family Service, a truly Christian adoption agency that services both Illinois and Iowa and a few other places. And she's going to tell you about adoption and the beautiful way that God builds families through pregnancy resources in her own words.
Thank you, Tricia. As Tricia said, my name is Kari Smith, and I am very blessed to be part of the Pregnancy Resource Board, and I feel very blessed to be an adoption caseworker. And when I tell most people I work with adoptions, they think I have the greatest job in the world. But I'll tell you, nothing can prepare you to go to the hospital with a young lady, older lady, any age lady, who is going to give birth to a child, cry tears of joy, cry tears of sadness, cry tears of love, and then hand that baby to go home with another family. And in that other family, they are crying tears of fear, they are crying tears of joy, they are crying tears of love. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And while you learn tonight that Pregnancy Resources serves hundreds of women each year, I want to tell you tonight about two very specific women. The first woman in December of 2019, on December 9th, she came in, she met with a client advocate, she had an ultrasound, they confirmed she was 9 weeks pregnant. They gave her every piece of information you could need. She left, they called her, they called her, they called her, and she never picked up her phone. At 33 weeks, I got a phone call. It was this young lady. She's actually 23 years old. This was not her first pregnancy. She had her first child when she was 16 years old. She gave the parental rights to her grandmother. She had another pregnancy at age 18, but at 28 weeks, she decided to have an abortion. She's now 23 years old, 33 weeks pregnant. She's never been to a doctor. She has no job. She has never had a driver's license. She is living on a couch of a friend about 30 miles from the Quad Cities. So every single week, I picked her up, I got her groceries, I took her to the doctor. And we built a tremendous bond. It was beautiful. And when she was 38 weeks pregnant, we were talking about the adoptive family that she has decided to pick. And she said, "Do you think it's okay if I write them a letter?" And I said, "That would be beautiful, you know?" And she opened up this bag, and she carried that one bag with her every single week. I can still picture this bag. And in this bag, she pulled out this book. This is the book that Pregnancy Resources gave her. It's a devotional book. They gave it to her when she was 9 weeks pregnant. She has carried it with her for 4 months. I am personally telling you that what your volunteers are doing, what your staff is doing, is making a difference. Not only did she carry this book for 4 months, but inside it she had a brochure, and in that brochure was abortion recovery. You guys are making a difference. She gave birth on June 22nd. She placed Samuel Keith into the hands of, this was Samuel. I was there for the delivery. She placed him in the hands of a couple, and we actually asked Kelsey and Andrew to be here tonight, but because of their schedules, they couldn't be, and they asked me to share their story. Kelsey and Andrew, they tried to get pregnant for 4 years. They had lots of tears, lots of doctor's appointments. They finally discovered that having their own biological child was not going to happen. So they began praying, and God opened the path for adoption. And it was this birth mother that picked them, and this was them just a couple months ago. Now, we often associate adoption with heartbreak, a broken woman, drugs, homelessness, something else, but I'm telling you, there's no direct path for adoption. Another young lady, she's a junior in high school. She's a 4.0 student. She's been with the same boy all of high school. They're high school sweethearts. He's also almost a 4.0 student. He almost had a perfect score in his ACT. He had a full ride lined up for college in January of 2020. We know what happened in March of 2020. Our school shut down. When she found out she was pregnant, she panicked. She decided with her boyfriend that they were not going to tell anybody. They were going to get an abortion. However, because of COVID, they had no reason to go anywhere. Everything in their life was canceled, even their jobs, they couldn't work. So this young lady decided to make a plan for an abortion. But weeks went by, months went by. At 36 weeks pregnant, she made an appointment in Colorado for a late-term abortion. He was in college, he was going to drive with her, but in order to have an appointment, they had to have an ultrasound. So they called Pregnancy Resources, and she came in, and she sat with the nurse. And this nurse changed her life. This nurse on the ultrasound showed her 10 fingers and 10 toes and a beating heart. And she walked away saying, "Thank you for the ultrasound. I have to get an abortion." At 38 weeks pregnant, she told her parents she was pregnant. The next day, I met with her and her mom. They picked an adoptive family, and 24 hours later, she went into labor. The adoptive family drove to the hospital. They didn't have a car seat. They didn't have anything with them. They were panicked. Everybody was panicked. And the mother of this birth mother, while still in great shock that she did not see this in her daughter. I mean, her daughter's never broken a rule in her life, and she hid a pregnancy for 38 weeks. She wrapped her loving arms around her and said, "We are going to meet this family." They invite him in, and it was a little awkward at first, into the delivery room, and they ended up talking for 12 hours while labor progressed. When it came time to deliver the baby, they asked Alyssa, who is the adoptive mother, to stay in the room. Alyssa delivered her adopted child. It was a baby boy. Alyssa cut the umbilical cord. And now this young birth mother has been accepted to college. She has decided to become an OB nurse because of her experience. I cannot tell you what a blessing it is to be part of a ministry that supports life. And I will say it to every single person I meet. Pregnancy Resources is making a difference. While so many clients, we have no idea what happens when they walk out the door, the prayers are being heard and our Savior is always answering them. As a board member, I want to personally thank you for your support to Pregnancy Resources. Enjoy your evening.